Good evening. All right. Salam sejahtera. All right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Salam.
All right. So I hope you're doing well. All right. So thanks for joining on the online class, for the performance management. All right. Okay. Okay. First of all, okay. I think I need to refresh on the introduction for our syllabus lah, basically. Okay, a few part that I'm not mentioned for a while lah, All right. Okay, so inshallah by today we try to have our syllabus, chapter 1 to chapter 2. All right. And then for your information, I'm what we call this currently prepare for your assessment lah, I will update to you as soon as possible lah, in group and also in Europe. Alright. Okay. Okay, alright. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, alright. So I think our last class I'm not mentions the introduction of the courses. I mean on the shadow 4 lah, on the MQA documentations that to explain about the course synopsis. Right. Okay. So if we know that performance management. Okay. What we understand about the performance management is involved with the business performance? Is this involved on the workers' performance? Okay, so from these particular questions, maybe we can go through the course synopsis. Okay, this course introduced to students to importance of an effective performance management system. All right. Excuse me. In helping organization define and achieve long-term and short-term goals. Okay, basically, in organization, we have a lot of planning. One of the planning basically is performance management. Another planning, maybe we can talk about strategic management. And then maybe a few planning on organization, we can talk about the quality management system, QMS. Continue with the TQM, total quality management. So a lot of the planning basically, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, all right? A lot of planning, but for a while we focus on performance management, right? Okay, in explain and reinforce the concept, the performance management is not a one-time supervisory event. It's not the one-time, all right? But an ongoing process of planning, facilitating, assessing, and improving. Okay, maybe we can plus with practicing and implementing individuals and organizational performance. Right. Okay. Of course, class, we have a few type of organization, which is a small organizations, medium organization, and the big organizations. So, all right, from that particular level of organization, sometimes the incur between the some sort of the different and also improvement of performance management, right? Attentions will be given to the performance measurements in all business units, right? Departments, managers, and working groups. In particular, the important is the goals achievement metric, all right, including the leading indicator, the balance perspective approach, and also include, right, whereby is take into the considerations on the relationship between cognitions, behavior, and result of the various function in organization. Right. Okay. So this is the particular to the maybe human resource behavior. Right. If you know, human resource is considered a big department that consists a lot of type of the unit basically. All right. Okay, so then we can see the learning outcome. All right, explain the importance of performance management and detail how organizational strategy and translated into the performance standard. All right. Okay, so in organization, okay, we can derive, we can describe, we can explain, we can build the framework, okay, in order that we have a good performance management, right? Sometimes also performance management involved with a lot of the what we call is a lot of the method, a lot of the significance that, for example, strategic management, all right, KPI, all right, um, business development, all these things, right? Describe their approach in setting performance standards. Identify method of facilitating performance by linking pay initiative to performance and designing job to enhance employee involvement. Explain how enhancing employee involvement can be contribute to effective performance. All right. And then also don't forget to discuss about the workers. Okay. One of the very important element in order you to perform your business, right? How that element to help you to standardize, to develop, to increase on the performance management, right? Okay. Okay, Other than that, okay. I think course assessment structure we already discussed. Yes, okay. Okay, all right. Okay, so we have only 10 topic, All right, so one webinar, I think we try to have the two topic, Okay, to be discussed lah. Okay. Class we call is like webinar lah. I think you know about the webinar, okay. Right. Okay, and then by right, okay, I will update to you also your assessment, right? SAQ, right? Okay, we go to the sum. All right. Okay, SAQ, all right, 10%. All right, term paper and case study. All right, the first assignments that, okay, short answer questions, term paper, case study. I will update to you as soon as possible. All right, and then midterm, I will give you in middle, maybe I think on the third week, third or fourth week on January. I think and next week also lah. But then midterm is midterm take home. All right. So I'm not plan. It basically basically it depend of the lecturer. All right. Okay.
Benda kat awak.
Okay. Kadang-kadang dia apa? Terlupa nak mute ni. Okay. Alright, tak apa. Biasa kan, Alright. Okay. I'm not plan to give the specific time in order you to answer the midterm. Right? So the midterm, I'm consider as a midterm take home. All right. And then also, you have the period of time to answer. All right. And submit in UROX. All right. Then a final assessment. And okay, I think last semester, we start with this semester basically. Okay. We, Unirasa already run its final assessment. Okay, no more final examination. So final assessment, I will given to you on the week of the final examination. I think after our webinar 6, after, if I'm not mistaken, after 12 February, I think, 11 February, I think, our last webinar. All right. Okay. And then also, maybe I think I think you have around 2 weeks to answer. All right. The finals assessment. Right. All right. So more or less, the question more on the how you develop, how you opinions on the performance management. Okay, definitely there is not any question on the remember. Nak ingat-ingat tu we not provide anymore on the remember questions, right? We more or less the questions comes to the how you describe based your experience. Okay, because what the performance management basically that is what I mentioned to you class. I'm not saying that different organization like a different performance management method, right? Or what we call a method, all right? But sometimes they have difference is because of the how big the organizations that to run their business basically. Okay, of course, a small company that they can't follow the big process of the performance management. Okay, rather than that, also the big company, of course, can't practice the small company that using the performance management method. But the basic, the theory is same. All right. So this is about the assessment, right? So, and then of course, for your information also, no mark for the attendance. But the previous that we, Uniraza still, what we call is put attendance, which is have a 5 mark. But now no more because MQA not suggest to give the mark for the attendance. And then for your information also, ODL is not the compulsory you to attend the class. I'm not sure that you after this you no more to attend the class, but a term of compulsory is like that. Okay, you can also see the recording teaching in whatever place, whatever time you have your free basically, right? And then of course class, for information, we are adults learner. So adult learner is definitely that on not focused to the what we call this nor the textbook. Okay, I'm happy that if let's say in your assignment, in your assessment, that you give your opinions. Okay, based your experience. All right, that show how that you will be entitled as the ODL student. Open and distance learning student is mostly, okay, halfly you will be a individual study basically. All right. Okay, so I think okay okay, so I think that's all for the some sort of introduction. Maybe some of you are not in the class, okay? Last week that you can have a refresh, or some of you, okay, maybe have you can see the refresh on the information. All right. Okay. Okay, class. All right. Okay, so we go through our introduction about performance management. Right. Okay. So in HR department, normally we have what we call this uh, compensation and benefits units. All right. Salary, and then also uh, trainings departments. All right. Development and successions planning. Maybe a small company put a safety and security under HR, all right? And then a lot of the units, basically, right? And then for your information class, maybe you have experience, all right? I definitely that I know that you have experience. Some of you come from the international company, some of you work with the others country where definitely that I very well. I know that. Okay, all right. But then this is only for the sharing that. Maybe you or me we can have some things to share based of the performance management because I'm a lecturer. Okay, I'm not really involved with the industrial right now. So maybe it's quite outdated that, sorry, is my knowledge basically. All right, if let's say you have something to throw, please, no problem, right? Because as you know lah, we are a lecturer, so we're not in the industry. Of course, definitely in Austria, you have your latest informations, right? Okay. Okay, so introduction, the characteristic of the modern business environment. Make is a mandatory for organizations to come up with the innovative way of maintaining competitiveness. Yes, right? So from the classical practice, maybe now we change to the technology. Okay, for example, in terms of managements, right? So management already use the modern or use the latest technology based of the basic theory, right? Okay. Okay, performance management is highly important to such organizations as any firm in realizing, maintaining, and enhancing productivity as is a progress into the future. Yes, okay. Time to time, what is the important you to do the business? Because to make the money, to have the income, finally to get the profit. Okay, all right. So there is the difference lah. Different story. If let's say we talk about the cooperative, what we call this, club, union, persatuan, and the one is a different story lah, because this is maybe on that more on the community service involved that, but the basic, all right, on anyone want to plan, want to run this business, okay, to make the profit, right? And this is an effective way of creating is a sun stability, right? So now we talk about a lot of things, ESG, a lot of things there, all right? All right. The performance management can be defined as a comprehensive approach to the management and supervisions of employees in a particular work environment to enhance the achievement to certain goal and characterized by a higher degree of participation of managers. Right. So, okay. Performance management. If you see the word performance management, they not mention that performance the staff. So performance management. Normally, we can see that the word strategic management, HR management, quality management system, total quality management, TQM. Okay, so this is involved with the management because management one of the group that very important to develop, to make the company sustain, and then of course to develop the company, to expand the business. So of course, performance management help us basically. Okay, and then we can follow that because the performance management have a comprehensive approach to the management and supervisions. Meaning to say that normally we can consider supervisor and above. All right. Then normally, excuse me. All right. Different company have a different level of position, right? Sometimes the company using the supervisor, some of the company straightforward using the executive, senior executive, all right? Assistant manager, some of companies straightforward go to the manager, some of company after assistant manager, okay, they have another position called GPT manager, some of the company senior manager, some company using deputy senior manager. So this is how that the company, okay, basically HR run their title of the positions basically. All right. And then goes to the deputy general manager, assistant general manager, senior general manager, so on. Okay, some of the company nowadays, you can saw that they're using the vice president one, vice president two, assistant vice president. It is depend how that you run their position. To me, if you see that, there is not a big issue on that particular. But what is important that, okay, in the unit, in the department, they have a proper lineup, okay, direction in order to make, to sustain, to perform the unit or department. Excuse me. Okay, performance management is process that is conduct of organizations to ensure that they realize the continue improvement performance. Okay. Today's numerous definition of this term exist at such include, right? Okay, we can see, all right. Systemic management or every aspect of the human resource available to the company to promote innovativeness and creativity. Focus on specific goals, enhance productivity, and employee satisfaction. All right. And every form of success from the employee under a specific manager it is a continuous process that consists of activities such as planning the management process, managing it, conducting review, assessing the potential of to be managed, and appreciating positive performance through the application of positive compensation system. Okay, so this is the part of the meaning of performance management, right? So from the works, performance management, so perform. All right, so you can see that perform means that what? Okay, maybe you meet the KPI. Also, maybe your unit or department success. Okay, or maybe your company already developed the new business, expands the branches, and so on. Maybe, okay, you have a very good structure, okay, in order to do the specific work and continuous directly finish to your head of department. So all these things that can be a performance management, right? So, no, but normally they involve with the human resource that they have a concrete framework in order to appreciate the staff until the staff have the what we call is a positive compensation system. Right. Okay, now is a holistic approach to the management and supervisions of employee in a particular work environment with the aim of achieving certain goal, and it's a characteristic by a high degree of participation of two being managing. Performance management. How you are the management, lead your team basically. How you are the head of department, manager of department, okay, manager of unit or whatever lah we call, that you have your concrete planning, okay, for the next years. Normally, I think all of you practice on KPI, key performance indicator, planning for the next years. For example, 2024, you already have the concrete, okay, on the framework, on also planning in order that you to success on 2024. You have already your what we call this KPI on the performance, okay, and then your KPI also based of your strength of your works, okay. Do you need to add your staff basically? Okay, is it good or not if let's say you add your staff in order you to evaluate your works? Okay, so that is why sometimes HR need to do the analysis of human resource staff, that is the match to be the strength of the work compared to the staffing. Okay, if less the production going to have the what we call is complete process. The staff what we call is what we call have another extra stuff that, okay, so not what we call match the job descriptions basically. So there is a lot of things that as a head of departments that you need to change. Rather than that, also on top of them, also you also need to responsible about the emotionals. All right, about emotional of the staff. It's not that I say you need to responsible until the problem of the family in your staff. Basically, no. But that is how it sometimes comes to this scenario. Okay, we need to also know, okay, the problem about the staff, because they also all these things that impact to the performance of the work basically. So as a head of department, tuan-tuan puan-puan, sir, madam, a lot of the responsible that you need to think. Okay, rather than that, okay, rather than that also, okay, rather than that also, all right. We also sometimes look into the budget thing. Are we the best manager if let's say we use the big budget? Is only to manage the small work. Are we the best person or best manager if let's say we may use the big work, a big project, a big contract, a big work, a big contract normally, using the small strength of work or workers. So there is all these things that we need to consider basically. All right. So the application, number 3, the application of specific framework, that is a matter of the particular standard of a performance metric in the management of employees and organizational team on individual level as well, enhancing their productivity. All right. So as a head of department, okay, we need to know, okay, our frameworks, normally framework of department that, okay, our target, all right, and then also maybe we can talk about the safety purpose, okay, And then also maybe we can talk also about the budgeting. So all these things that okay, if let's say maybe if let's say you are in that department head of department on the engineering department, it's not only that you know how to run, how to manage the technical issue, handling for technical staff, okay, study, manage the project, the contract, but at the same time also you need to know also about the maybe about the finance, all right, maybe about the human resource, rather than okay that company maybe have a itself of human resource, but also we need to know at least heads of as a head of department. So basically head of department, you need to know a lot of the what we call is list of the responsible basically. Okay, excuse me. Okay, again, it can define as a strategic process. Okay. The aim of ensuring the organization realize sustained improvement in performance, high making investment in employees to promote their career or professional progression. These have a positive impact on the overall performance of the organization in question. All right. Okay. So for example, okay, if let's say your company plan for this years to expand more than 100 branches. All right. So you are one of the performance manager. All right. Rather than maybe you are someone is not directly involved with this business plan basically. All right. But from this scenario, okay, we need to look also. Okay, what about the staffing? Is there any problem with the staffing? Okay, maybe on top of budget, okay, because of the management already decide that to have to open the branches, to plan to open the branches more than 100. But come to this scenario, okay, we not only have a strong budget, but we also need to study about the human resource, which is that this what we call is area that is easier you to find the staff. If let's say easier to find the staff, for example, okay, if let's say for example, your company involves with facility management, is there any the easiest you to find out the skill staff, for example? Now today we talk about the Tibet. All right. Okay. So this is a lot of things that okay that we can put as a question in order that because of it's not easy that basically. That is why a performance management that we need to have the concrete character in order us to success basically. All right. Okay. For type of integrations. All right. Okay. In human resource integrations is involved the gauge of a various aspect of HR, including all right. HR, including the creation of subsystems to promote the managing and monitoring of job tasks, employee development and motivations, and designing of the reward system is strategic way to optimize performance. Yes. All right. So, sometimes yeah, this is definitely we agree if let's say sales and marketing is a department, it is a very important department in order to create the income and profit. But please don't forget also on the human resource department. Because yeah, sometimes we not see how the I'm not saying that we not see, sometimes we difficult ataupun or we quite difficult to find which angles that human resource give the sales and marketing department directly give the profit and income. But then human resource basically help us in organization how to be structured on the stuff, because who's do the works? This is only involved with two, which is the human and also machine. So machine also fine. Okay, we have maybe the machine already have the structure system that in order to run and so on. But what about the human? Who's handle the human? Basically, human resource department, right? So human resource department basically very significant to the organization. If you see that, okay, if you see that, sometimes, how I can say, okay, research and development department. All right. Okay, research and development department. Sometimes I can say that a small or medium company, sometimes they don't have any research and development department. This is my opinion. Maybe sometimes medium company also have lah. So this is the what we call it some example lah. But you can see that I consider that a lot of company, rather than this is a small company, they have their HR department. You can see that, okay? Any company that they have their HR department. But maybe if let's say this is a small company, they have the combination of the department. For example, finance and HR or something like that. Right. So create a subsystem to promote the management monitoring of job tasks. Yes, right? Okay. HR. Okay. So that is why, if let's say, I think some of you work with HR department. You are responsible to recruit the staff. Okay. Of course, you have experience. But, okay, my salute on the HR staff is they need also have the knowledge on what we call this outside area of HR, which is what? If let's say you are the recruit of the engineering staff, so you need also know about the particular competency of engineering staff, which is you need to learn. If let's say, for example, competency of engineers, IR, competency engineers, staffman, and so on. You need to know rather than you are work in HR. Okay. For example, also, if let's say you have to recruit for finance director, all right, you need to know also about the competency of the chartered accountant, MIA, ACCA, CIMA, and so on. Okay, and then the second thing also, HR need to know also about the rules of regulations that involve with that particular department. For example, all right, for example, okay, I bring up you on the construction side. Okay, if let's say you are what we call this, so you are the construction project manager. You must be certified by the CIDB as a certified construction project manager, which is HR need to know what is the process until the staff earn that competency certificate. So all these things all these things. Okay, so basically that is why it's not easy that as a job task to the HR. They need to know about the competency, management, monetary job, and then also, okay, HR need to review of job description, meaning to say that, okay, if you like say lah, HR need to review on the job description on the procurement department. So at least HR need to know also what is the information or basic about the procurement department. So that is why the function of HR is so big basically. We need to respect of the HR person basically. All right. So employee development, right? And motivations. Okay. Designs a reward system, yes, right? Motivations, and then normally we call it is the training and development, you know, all right? Okay, so we need to give the training to staff everything lah in order to maintain their performance. Vertical integrations is involve the alignment of the goals of various level on organization. It's realized where the organization is in question is able to interlock into objective from organization to the individual's levels. All right, various levels of organization. This is vertical integration. Goal integration is involved the attempt by those being managed to strike a balance between the person aspiration and bring and the objective or the goal of the company to work for. So goals integration means that what, right? So if let's say, okay, you put your ambitions or your target or your objective or whatever lah, you will be a general manager for this department after 10 years. So in equivalent you to be a perform that your dreams, all right, your objectives that they need also equivalent to the performance of the company, right? Functional integrations entitled purpose for focusing of the strategy and energy in organizations in a single direction to promote the optical fulfill a job task. Therefore, okay, functional integration maybe your company is what we call is specific expertise on the energy management, for example, right? So of course you have your skills that to feed their equivalence to the company, right? Okay. All right. Okay, performance management is essential to any organization since the exit to is the avoid incurring severe costs associated with the poor performance and other problems associated with the failures to engage in the process. Such include high employee turnover rate. This part, okay, very, very important. All right. If let's say your company, if let's say you want to join the company, right? If let's say from the current company that provide you salary 6,000, normally the concept base of the HR, all right, 33% increase maximum. Maybe you can improve it, it depend of the HR lah, right? So you can earn almost 8,000, the new company, but after you review that company, you see the company have a higher employee turnover rate. All right. So are you willing to work with that company? Maybe you will. Okay, maybe, okay, basically, if let's say the company have a higher employee turnover, you cannot judge the company is not good, basically. Yeah. Sometimes you need to study, you need to review where the staff is resigned. Why the staff is resigned? Okay. You cannot put the blame. I think it's not blame. I think you cannot put this problem to that the company. If let's say the company have a higher turnover, yeah, the company have a problem. No, Okay, we need to study that. Okay. And then maybe, okay, the highest turnover because of the company is run the construction, which is the construction have the rather than you are engineer, you are project manager in that constructions, but you still need to work with the uh, high physical work. Okay, which is maybe some of staff or work cannot manage to do the works basically. We need to review back lah basically. All right. And then if let's say highest turnover, then we need to look back lah whether you want to join. But this is the things that, okay, if let's say the company have the higher turnover, okay, maybe the HR department need to review back. Why turnover? That's why one, you have your resignations, okay, I think you need to fill the form, exit, exit form. So why the staff, okay, one, they have their resignation, they need to fill out the exit form. Because the exit form, normally the questions manage to ask basically why the staff have resignation. So from that, HR department can review and do the analysis. From example, okay, after they will face this January 2024, already 20 staff have their resignation. So the process of resignation until they need to fill out the exit form. So after you receive the 20 exit form, you will see that, okay, the concrete of the reason is, okay, the staff have the better offer. Okay, better offer. All right. Excuse me. Better offer. And then the staff, why? Yeah, they have a better offer. And then maybe the question asks, the reason, the few reason is they earn the very low salary, for example. Compare the works. So maybe I think you know already, right? Okay, as HR, we need to review. If let's say that qualification earn that position for the skill, so we need to study about the okay, we need to study, okay, what is the best. But then please also, okay, it's not only that the what we call is the staff, or you want to welcome to the company, you will put supervisor, for example, like 8,000. So because of that, you need to study also about your income. And then your whole contract. Is it that you can have your salary to pay their salary to the staff? So this why we need to do the comparison. Okay, currently project run and future project run in your pocket basically. All right. Okay, so they have a question, Prof. How the motivate? Okay, depart to attend exit interview after all they are leaving. Okay. Attend exit interview after all their very good question, eh? Okay, so how to motivate? Okay, after all they are leaving an interview, they are leaving, okay. Basically, Tuan, for the highest position, I think for the management position, it's not issue because of what? Normally, the process of the uh, resignations, all right, they're using for the proper process because this is very important in future. They want to apply the any position because maybe the new company, or maybe that the new company that they want to join, of course the company need to their reference from the HR, all right, so they need to use the proper. So I think there is not issue if let's say for the management side to come to have their exit interview. But the problem is for the lower rank. Okay, a lower rank, right? Unless, yes, very good. Normally, part liver process could release their last duty. Yes, that's right. Okay, maybe they will do before their leave. But normally, for the lower rank ni, memang it's quite difficult to handle. I'm not saying that because the lower rank is not good. Sometimes they will what we call it, night ride. They just go without any notification or what. So this is a thing lah. But to me, my suggestion, okay, so exit policy around. Okay, at my workplace macam tak pernah buat. So no existing policy existing. Okay, basically, okay, dia nowadays kebanyakan a few company dah buat exit policy, which is the exit process lah. Because to study, to have the genuine data to HR to study about what is the problem, because of turnover ni is very important. Of course lah, okay, you will do an interview every time. Every month you do the interview for the same position. HR is not only that, you do the recruitment, you have a lot of things to work. You do a lot of you have your a lot of work to settle and everything. But this is how that you have at least your benchmark in order you to have the information and prepare for the next interview. Okay, at least, yeah, okay, the new staff join to your company. Okay, they can maintain, they can still with your company lah, at least 3 or 5 years lah. All right, and then normally, to me, okay, of course, on the resignation process, HR normally have their what we call is a step, method, and then procedures. All right, so from this particular, okay, to me, my opinions, please settle it everything before the last day of the staff. Because of what my experience, if let's say you call back the staff to come, it's quite hard. Then they give the lot of the reason, the 1,000 reason that they will give to us, basically, because they don't more any bond to the previous company, the last company. So they think there's no issue that they want to come or not. But it is different that if let's say you call for the management position, because they have professional. I'm not saying that the lawyer is not professional. Sometimes it's okay to come, but normally practice lah. Okay, the last is last, the new is instructed. All right. Okay. Next, inability to cope with this is staff. Sorry, this is spelling a staff competition. Okay. Understaffing or hiring an excess number of employees. All right. Okay. All right. The adoption of poor and improper freight technology. Yes. All right. Okay. Poor reputation among customer and other type of stakeholder. All right. Okay. Okay. Poor reputation among customer and other stakeholder. All right. So stakeholder and also board of directors. All right. Of course, in the company that need to the what we call is I'm not saying that responsible, but need play the role as a stakeholder, especially on a board of directors, right? Because if let's say you study about CG, corporate governance, and then if let's say you may refer to the MCCG, Malaysian Code of Corporate Governance, all right, a lot of the interactions between the stakeholder, board of director, and the company itself, okay, including also senior management. If you talk about the performance management, it is very important of combination of success between the stakeholders, board of director, and also seniors management. Okay, this is the what we call is definitely described on the MCCG. Okay. All right, and then failure to meet the strategic goal set by a company. Okay, so failure to meet ni normally there is involved with a few elements that sometimes the staff will not understand clearly about the goal, about the benchmark, about the performance, about the target. And then the second time, maybe there are a lot of the characteristic, failure to meet the strategic goals set by the company, basically. But a few things is maybe the staff not have a proper skills in order that to manage to handle and then follow it by the success goal set by the company. There are a lot of characteristics. Then implementation of unnecessary change of technology upgrade, right? Then sometimes we need to work up every day, every time, and every second in order us to put the company in line on the success standard, basically. So by hook by crook, basically, so madam, we need to accept and follow the technology change, basically, rather than maybe we're not too familiar about the AI, artificial intelligence, a lot of the new system, all right, lot of the things, all right, okay. Eligibility to take advantage of various type of opportunities in the externals environment. Okay, please also understand of the externals, environment, which is maybe we can relate between the stakeholder, right? Okay, rather than performance management, sometimes in related to the stakeholder, but sometimes we need to consider on top of the overall management, performance management. Stakeholder also very important because stakeholder is to the what we call it group of the impact to the company, to the success and perform. That is why, maybe I'll share with you. Maybe your company also doing like that, normally a company doing 2, 3, or 4 times or quarterly on top of have engagement with the stakeholder. We have an engagement with the stakeholder because sometimes stakeholder make a damage, disturb on their company to run everything. The third thing is why we need to consider, we need to have engagement, we need to have the what we call is cooperation with the stakeholder in order us to have to maintain our stability of the company in order that us to run, to develop their business. All right. Well, okay. Performance can assist organization in relation of the following benefits. All right. So we can see that. All right. Okay. Assets management is assist of organization in the realized optimal value from its asset since it's promote effective management. It's a different type of asset due to minimization of resource waste and the application of the most sustainable framework and strategy of asset management to match an organization context. All right. Okay, so madam, we always talk about the asset management. And then by right, a big company, I think a medium company, I think also a small company that they have their own of asset management. Why? Okay, we look into the two big picture, basically, class. One, we talk about the business. The part also very important. What I say or what I mentioned before. All right. Okay. We not look into the union, cooperative. Okay, we look into the company. Okay. Business that we run the business, we develop the business, we expand the business, everything that. All right. Okay. Then we talk about asset management. Why is very important? Because asset management, that the department how you handle Whatever belong to company in order you to use to maximum output. Asset management also help their company to manage, to develop, to run the business basically. And then also maybe some sort of information, maybe some of you very well about the assets management. Okay, we need look into the very maximum output, very maximum using. Okay, in order that us to, it's not only our income come from business, but at the same time also our income can come from the asset management. The beautiful of manage to asset in the company. Okay. All right, next, customer value. It elevate, okay, the extent to which an institution can provide value to customers and the accessibility of such value by the client. Probably the asset company in the promoting is reputation and the realization of customer loyalty. Okay. Very simple. Okay. Information there. Okay. Just only one, what we call is one type of information that the someone, okay, I don't know who there, okay, they buy the benza, but after 3 hours, after 7 hours, that the benza is what we call is have a problem. So just only one tip to update in the social media, so you can see that how significant that information go through basically. So that is why, okay, nowadays technology that can accept, can read or whatever lah, within a second. So that is why very important that we in the company manage our customers' value. That is why you can see that some of us maybe discuss about the what we call after sale. Yeah, after sale. Maybe you are familiar with after sale. After sale is very important. That to review. Okay, maybe you have your perspective. All right. But after sale is very important. That to what we call is review, and then to have a feedback to the customer. How's your product? How's the feedback your product? Is it meet the requirement and the condition currently? What your comment? What things that to be upgraded and so on, right? Okay, next is an organizational knowledge. Okay. It exceeds an institution in evaluating its degree of organizational knowledge by positioning itself as a learning organization. Such exceed in the acquisitions of different type of information that can be evaluated to assist in the enhancement of futures performance. Organizational knowledge. All right. Okay. Sometimes you be a listen with this statement that no need to have qualification if we want to plan to run the business. Some of them also talk about qualification is very important that in order us to have the knowledge to run the business. All right. So whatever that can serve to this information, communication or whatever, right? Knowledge is part of very important. Without knowledge that you will have to run the business. All right. Okay. 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 Basically, right? Basically, it not enough if let's say we have only our what we call is professionals and advanced specialists on their business work. Okay. Between that also we need to have the management itself knowledge in order that to manage the company basically. So it's good that to have a lot of knowledge. A lot is means that it's not that whatever knowledge that you will yeah maybe you can accept that, but I mean it's not only that. Okay, you have your what we call is knowledge. After finish master one master, you do the second master, you do the third master, you do the fourth master, you do the fifth master. For example, like me lah. All right. This depend lah. This is depend. How that you want to uh, manipulate, okay, your knowledge and so on. Maybe knowledge is not come from master basically. It's come for your experience. It's come for your dealing. Okay, yeah, it come from your presentations. It's all on, right? It's come for your class, short course, and so on. Benefit of performance management. All right. Okay, for those performance of managements, all right. Okay, alignment. Exhibit a close alignment with the context of organization, the situation of its culture. Also, it's perfectly aligned with the strategic goals and long-term visions of the organization. Such the metric of measuring performance in each organization are determined by the milestone and success factor that are defined and organization strategy and the business and corporate level. Yes, alignment. All right. So of course, the alignment on the performance, on the goals, strategy goals, is very important to the company and worker itself, basically. All right. So that is why sometimes company need to have the proper frameworks that in order framework alignment that in order that to be a success company. All right. Okay. Okay. Human resource and compensation. Performance management should be positively linked to the different aspect of human management in organization. Such component include employee training. Yes, right. So we always talk about the TNA, training need analysis. Why training need analysis very important? Why training need analysis be practiced in the department? All right. So we always talk about the TNA training, how you program your TNA basically. Are you using for TNA for your analysis in the department for your staff? How's that you do your comparison between the TNA and then your job description? And then how that between the TNA job description, how you align between the latest technology. This is part of very important to make your staff still in the latest technology. Right. And the succession strategy adopted by an organization. Yes. Okay. Nevertheless, it should be linked with the compensation strategy applied in the particular organization. All right. Okay, so why compensation is very important? We call sometimes a big company or medium company, maybe a small company also have the compensation and benefit department or unit that they focus to run, they focus to review, they focus to analysis about the combination and benefit. Why? Because this is important to make align to the staff in order that to study, understand about goal to the company. Okay, linking to the two could have your reaching implication of each one of them, since it can cause to the on the negative feeling, attitude among employee due to reward system adopted by the employee to the performance management. Such a company should adopt separate strategy for reward appraisal and appraisal for development. Yes. Okay, so that's why sometimes we see, okay, maybe it's not to apa uh, uh, what we call is done by the private company. It's government servant. Government servant, they have their what we call is APC. Okay, APC. All right. So maybe from this also, it is that APC is very good. How their what we call is significance to the computations. That one we need to review. All right. For today is about opinions on that perspective. All right. Okay. So maybe yes, if you see that the statement that reward appraiser then appraiser for development. So we need to look that because of sometimes in human resource department we can't look all this problem, all this issue is just like that you hold only. We need to review, we need to analyze back, discuss all these things. If let's say you will have your complaint from the staff regard with the compensation, right? You need to what we call is to review, to receive the complaint, and then maybe you will look back rather than you need to have the further action on the information complaint, or you will answer to the staff based of this condition that you need to do that conditions. So all these things, all these things, okay, because of workers and combination need to be a what we call is in line that in order to have the success department. Continuing performance management is often perceived to be a continuous process that is carried out through the year and through the years and not a one-time event. Yes, it's conducted at a particular point in the years. Yes, okay. Rather than class, we have our yearly planning, but it looks that yearly planning must definitely on continually planning basically. It's good that you have this perspective rather than you are definitely change every year on your planning. It's quite hard. It's quite hard if let's say the company every year change their planning. All right. So it's good that the company have a continuing process and improvement. That is much better, but it is depend. It is depend of your company. Maybe your company doing your rebranding and so on. All right. The three main activity associated with the process carried out around this year. The year also is a continuous process consisting of activities such as monitoring and the collection of feedback and time, the involvement of employee in the conducting of this activity, others such as the designing a performance management strategy, the implement and review. All right. Flexibility. it it is a dynamic process that can respond to change with a great since the system applied. Therefore, a design taking into the consideration the fact to model work environment is often characterized by various type of rapid change. Okay. Flexibility is nowadays to me is very important because we have our technology, okay, to have download, to have information, okay, to do the works, okay. What is important that you settle your work, all right? So that is why sometimes flexibility in performance management is also we need to consider strongly, basically, all right? Okay, and then training of managers is a significant level of emphasis of the importance of investing in the training of managers to promote their career development. So training also critical to an organization since enhance their capacity of the category of employee to fulfill their coaching responsible to employee who work under their guide. Notably, there is a base of the concept that their managerial roles of coaching is essential to the realization of effective performance management in any business entity. Yeah, we talk about training manager because we focus about the performance management, but training also it's not only important to the managers, it's important to all the staff. But then it's important to manager because a manager do a lot of work. Rather than specialists on that department, for example, Department of Engineering, that the manager also need have a skill of handle emotional, skill of manage the staff, skill to give the instruction, all these things that. Okay, right. Application of technologies. Technology to enhance the company ability to carry out activities such as monitoring and acquisition of feedback. Also, technology assists the minimization of bureaucracy in the performance of management process, promoting its effectiveness. Technology is very important. We need to accept and study and need to familiar time to time. Now, the futuristic performance management can be termed by future-oriented process since its primary purpose is to ensure that the future of a particular organization is a characteristics by the improved performance in the comparison to the present. The evaluation system adapted therefore are designed to ensure that a business is able to generate the input then will assist in enhancing the future performance, right? So part of that futuristic also very important, okay, because of we plan. Involved with the work plan, we need to have the futuristic character, right? It's good that to a company in order that to have their very good performance management. Okay, participatory is participatory processing the require high level of cooperation between the employee, the position of management and their junior to promote a company capacity to address the development and performance needs of two categories employee. Okay. And then next, control. It can be termed to be component of the control function of management since type to comparison of a performance of a different type of employees. Case particular type of standard or yardstick apply in organization. Notably, control does not imply this application or consists of the other similar method decided into the management into doing what a major desire of them, but cooperation between the two parties, right? Yeah, of course, the controls very important. Okay. Without control, it's quite hard to manage, it's quite hard to handle, it's quite hard to success to the company. All right. Okay, feedback method. All right. The realization of consistent performance in any institutions depend on the degree to which is adopted feedback system. They are the foolproof. Such I see in the management and monitoring management performance. All right. and their participation in the process promoting its effectiveness. Such system should be available at the personal, team, and departmental level. Okay, self-management teams. All right, they assist in implementation, in elimination of performance gaps at the various level of an organization that can be defined as team, formed and managed by employee to assist team them in keeping track on their performance. They are advantageous since they are provide a safe environment where employee can openly discuss their strength and weakness without fear that such discussion may cause the management to have negative view of them. Also, they allow the employee to design strategy that they can be implemented to assist them in realizing personal development. All right, okay. Next, leadership training. It is the responsibility of manager to identify, managers should exhibit leadership potential and take the time to exceed their is developing so that they can be authorized to take a leadership position in future of the organization situation. The approach advantageous since evaluating employee to management position as institution in realizing consistency in performance since they are highly familiar with the culture and process. Again, the organization can be impact in the leadership qualities in desire to have in those who hold manager level their force. All right, so leadership training very important. All right, because this is the line who's responsible to achieve the performance management. Okay, all right. Okay, evaluation is one of the most critical elements of the performance management. Start the assessment of the performance employee, individual, group, and departmental level. This is a continuous process. It's done through the application various approach that has been developed through the application of scientific principle to guide an organization. This is evaluation. Evaluation very important. All right, to study, to review, to understand. All right, whole this a process. All right. Okay, and then clarity. Performance management is supported by the present of the clear, precise goal with organization and effective communication. Manager have to ensure that every manager has a perfect understanding of meaning of implication of the goal and how the individual input the organization will assist in the realizing thing. Yes. Right. In the workers, especially manager, we need to clearly understand about the goal of company. Also can be against the process time, the subdivisions of the goals and translating them into similar unit. They are applicable at the departmental team and personal level. Okay, all right. Principle of effective performance. All right. Okay, first, transparency. Okay. I think you may be familiar with transparency. Maintain open, timely, honest communications by manager chose under the authority concerning the reward, compensation, performance assessment system applied in a specific organization. Managers are expected to supply the managing business self-sufficient information about the decision that relate to each of these aspects. Failure to embrace transparency can result in development of the view that organization does not practice equity into reward and compensation system among employee. This is about the transparency. Okay, values. Okay, all right. So the application different type of value in the organization setting allow an institution to show empathy, trust, respect for different stakeholders and assist the organization to treat them as human being and not mean to the realization of its goal. All right. So this is about values. All right. So values is very important lah. Okay, transparent, value. This is normally character that need to have for all workers, basically. It's not only for the manager. External environment, effective management of various factors found this environment to ensure that does not the effort made by manager in managing their process associated with the realization enhanced performance. All right. Human resource development is an essential for managers and businesses in general to engage in the different type of activity that promote employee training and development. Also, they need to view employee as critical participant in various organization process and ensure that they are involved in decisions making. Okay, this one human resource department. All right. Okay, activities to promote the realize and principles involved with the recognition, skill, talent processed by employee, investing on their development, the application, and effective, fair reward system. Okay, managing a recognition, expecting the effort applied by different employee in the fulfill of their responsibility, regulation, leadership role, responsible employee with respect their ability. Right. Conducive. Okay. Conducive work environment, the management of any institution has responsibility of create and working environment that encourage individual therefore to engage in knowledge sharing, effective teamwork, okay, effective conflict resolution, and the sharing of experience while avoiding organization politics. Okay, conducive work environment. So the achievement of such of environment can only be done where the employee are informed about the goal or division they are striving toward and framework and standard applied by the management in promoting the real life of effective performance and their personal of group level. So conducive work environment, all these things that important. All right. Okay. Excuse me. All right. Okay. Performance management process that consists three distance activity. Okay. First, planning, employee development, and performance. Right. Okay. It is the first step that is initiate a beginning of year event through can be conducted at any other point in time. It involves the designing of contingent plan, the specification of standard, the framework to be applied in the management performance, the formulation of development and monitoring program, and the setting of goal among others activity. This is a planning, employee development, and performance. Then second is a monitoring employee development. Okay, planning, after planning, monitoring, right. It's characterized by activities such as the evaluation of performance, the implementation of monitoring program, such can either be or of the job program. It is essential for those participating in them to be briefed of various points of the program concerning their program. This, okay, first planning, second is monitoring, and then the last is annual stop taking. Sorry, annual stop taking, an annual activity that I'm at assessing whether the organization has achieved the plan and goal is specific as step one. However, this does not imply the organization wait till the end of the years to participate in this activity. More of them have numerous small activity, prayers, and continuous stock taking to ensure that the one carrier at the end of the year is effective as possible. So this is three activity is process performance management, right? Okay, the step, you can see that, all right? Plan, set expectation, train the develop, monitor, give back, president, document. All right, this is summary. Okay. So we go to the chapter 2 before we start our class. Okay. All right. Okay, chapter 2, performance management process, planning and agreement. All right. Okay, introduction. Performance management is a perpetual process conducted by manager and employee is planning, coaching and reviewer performance. Also involve the monitoring of employee performance, but this does not imply that manager should oversee every aspect of employee daily activity in the or micromanage. Yeah, but only intervene where necessary for them. They are prevision of coaching employee in more effective approach to the existing them in realizing improved performance in comparison and micromanaging. Also, essential for manager to understand the value of collaborating with employee in carry out of very activity associated with performance management. Okay, all right. So, of course, performance management, we need to handle, we need to supervise, we need to look, we need to managing. But, okay, as a head of department, it's not the very, we go to very detail, but it's not go to the micro manage. Because of staff, they have responsible their work. Meaning to say that, okay, based on job description, they know what should they be do and settle the works. Okay. Significantly, management can be termed a perpetual process that should be conducted all year long. Not a particular instant in organization program. It comprises three essential process, which is planning, coaching, after coaching, reviewing. All right. So the planning of the process can be termed as the first step. Therefore, even though there is not the clear distinctions between each of the steps, since they are often carried out concurrently, the step entails a set of activity that are carried out through the collaboration of manager and employee associated with due to following. This is the table 2.1. All right. Okay. Okay, table 2.1, activity that carry out through the collaboration manager employee, the planning plan. Okay. All right. Reviewing and then setting goal. All right. Okay, this part of that what we discussed. I think we go through. All right. Activity basically review. What should we do basically on the review activities? That first, the two parties conduct a review of the properties of a particular job title to assist the individual holding in the enhancing their comprehensions of work expected of them, and if their current responsibility on duty are in alignment with the job description. Review. We need to review. After review, then we align. Alignment. There are two party carry out of analysis of the degrees to with the job description, responsibility, and work plan, and align with the individual and organization goals and vision. And then that a setting goal in tied to formulation of the goals that the particular employee will be expected accomplish within a specific period as contribution to the realization of departmental and institution goals. This is critical for manager to ensure that each of the employees involved in the planning process sets smart goals. They are time bound. The same approach should be applied in the setting of personal goals to enhance their realization of career development. Setting a goal, and then that is a strategy. Okay, strategic, right, revision, existing work plan, by specific employee to promote, okay, with the goal and their department and organization. Again, the selection of the standard will be applied assessing the future performance of employee in question, and the deliverables they will be expected to achieve within a specific timeline. Okay, right, class. The formulation of standard is essential to the realization of goal, since it assists the employee in understanding how will the try that are required to carry out the duty and tasks associated with their job. Okay, all right. And then principles that can be applied ensure that effective standards are selected include quality, timeliness, time, and manner, and quantities. All right. The setting of standard also can be applied, promote the effectiveness of other process that in fact performer within an organization include recruitment and hiring. Identification of key area. It involves the outlining of the most important aspect of a particular job that person holding a show mainly focus on. This is determined through the analysis of the significance of job in question in relation to the goal, have a different level of the institution in question. Further, it should entire consideration of employee career development goal. Identify a key area. All right. So of course, we need to identify the key areas on the performance management. This is part of very important there. But I think this is the very good process of planning basically. Okay. Setting a training objective. Next, to the party identify type of career and personal training that the employee need to design a strategy that will be exceed time in meeting that need to within a particular timeline. Career development objective. The manager should also exceed the employee in questions in formulating their long-term career objective and is identify the most suitable part that can be utilized in assisting the employee to realize their goal within the short-term time and short time possible. Okay, and then definition of behaviors. In the time, the definition acceptable and forbidden. Behavior that management associated with the work environment. There are various types of behavior that should be highlighted at this stage. Such include the type of behavior to be evaluated with assessing whether an employee has met the standard of performance designed at the stage. Those associated work within the team, setting leadership action and normally behavior in the daily work environment. Okay, so this is a performance management process. For example, all right, prerequisitions, performance planning, performance executions, performance assessment, performance review, and performance review and recontracting. So the process is continuous. All right. Okay, coaching. Coaching can be defined a process identify addressing issue that related to the performance of employee on a regular basis. Okay. As such, related to the monitoring of employee performance, but does not apply to the micromanagement of the work environment, just like planning. It's a characteristic characterized by collaboration between the managers and their managers to carry out the following activities. Right, figure 2.2. Okay, activity carried out in the coaching planning. First, performance assessment. The two particles assess the degree of progress that have been made concerning to the realization of specific deliverables. Right. Barriers identification involve the identification of specific challenging of issue that may be to employee from realizing individual and departmental goals and the formulation of plan that can assist in the solution of this issue. All right. Next is provisions of feedbacks. Those parties great to share information their progress with respect to specific issue they will identify before their meeting. Okay, identification of change involve the identification of significant change of the impact the world environment. They may have any form of implication of the realization of organization goal. Further, it involves the I will say the plan that the institution will select the addressing the identified change. Extra support. Okay. Consideration of whether there is need for the management to provide additional help Parties can be provided to the employee to assist them addressing various issues relating to the performance. All right, so this is activity carrier of process coaching. All right. Excuse me. Okay, next, feedback can be defined as a specific information originating from an employer to one or more employees seeking to provide explanation about how behavior exhibited by the latter in fact an organization. Type of feedback found the work environment include. All right, so this is a normal practice, feedback. All right. Okay, so we can see that first is positive feedback. It's a design to assist employees understanding their good performance has been not appreciated by the management. This one, if you receive that, you'll be very happy lah. This form of feedback should be timely, highly specific. It should be provided regularly since it can assist evaluating the level motivation found in the work. Okay, but sometimes positive feedback, some of the company not do the positive feedback. Some, I'm not say all. All right, but I think we need to do it. It just only the letter that, but very significant to the staff basically. They will help in the performance basically, and then positive feedback. Sometimes you can have something to give. Whatever that, and maybe I think HR need to review that. What is the best that? Maybe some sort of things that you give, or maybe some sort of increment of salary, or some things that extra bonus, so on, anything that because some things that stuff is something you need to have their motivate to do the job for the company basically. So that is why motivate is part of very important, to the staff in order that to do well. And then until that the climate feelings that the staff have be feel the belonging to the company basically. Okay, constructive feedback, information that arm to existing employee in understanding the area of the performer the employee expect to improve on. This is designed to assist them with understanding their shortcoming with respect to specific performance standard. Significantly, such information should be factual, descriptive, and detailed. Additionally, it should be focused on specific aspect on one duty and behavior, not an attack on their personality. This is very important. Okay. All right. Okay, next. All right. Strategy can apply to improve the quality and effectiveness of feedback provided. Employee include preparation, critical them to plan. When, how, where they are going to give feedback. Preparation, making decision about factor about the specific issue that they plan to provide feedback about. The strategy are going to apply in delivery it and the tone they plan to apply when communicating with managers. The question also one should consider the most appropriate location for feedback, meeting and time providing feedback. Okay. Okay. Also, okay, timelines. The value of feedback provided the employee is determined by the degree of timeless associated with it. Manager who delay is provision harm to perform the employee in question such the limit to effectiveness such also ensure that it's provided on time when the issue being addressed are still relevant. Application in facts. Okay. Maintenance of objective in the previsions of feedback determine how it's been received. But it should be focused on talking about factual information that is directly related to issue that employee are concerned about it. Okay, again, they should focus on elimination Information associated with the perception and personal judge see that key result emerging a barrier between them to support the feedback and then the application fact. Just focus, discuss on that. It's not to talk or back of perceptions or anything without any concern on judge. Okay. Listening. Given the fair employee offer explanation about specific issue of concern. For illustration, one can be asked to explain the factor and reasoning behind particular action. Again, it's involved given employee to opportunity to express their feeling about the feedback being provided by raising concern. Nevertheless, is doing implying the manager should be tolerate explanation they are associated with blame and then deny of responsibility, not listen to a way of showing empathy that make easier for employee to accept feedback whether even where it's not favorable then. Right. Then collaboration to develop action plan, provide receiver feedback, we together we formulate a plan, outline of the courses of action they will take as the progress into the future. All right. Okay. All right. Review, performance, and recontracting. All right. Okay. Okay. Review, performance, and recontracting. The finals of the performance management stage. Process entire present employee performance, the process of conducting a hardly basic where company set out the period should be before the process conducting. When the time to conduct is right, the manager employee take the time, evaluate, summarize, and make comment around their performance. Right. Strategy applied in the completion of the process include. Right. Okay. Self-assessment. Employee take the opportunity to review the performance plan made in initial stage of the performance management process, compare that with what they have been able to accomplish. They given that the realistic view concerning how to have been performed during a specific review period. Critically, self-assessment is important that managing is can exceed identification of performing gap among the particular employee. Okay, so they have I think they have a tree, yes. Especially apply for completing of process. Self-assessment, we still do the self-assessment because some part of the things that the individuals personally know about their gap basically. Self-assessment is important that we need to look and we want to reduce the gap basically, All right, assessment by managers, performed by their managers. The letter released on the performance notes record throughout specific period to assist them in determining how particular employee are faring on. Such a record not assist that in preparing a summary about the performance to challenges of and barriers faced during the period in question and possible way of the addressing such problem. Others, all right, okay, found into work environment such as carry out, be peers. This can be conducted in team of group setting. Again, the form assessment can be acquired from the customer. This can be achieved by requesting customer to provide feedback about the quality survey that can be received from the particular employee. This is critical since it assists company capturing respecting of client with respect to the quality of the performance of its employee. Right. Okay. Furthermore, the process involves the analysis performance measure to determine whether it had a positive or negative implementation of the of the manager. Significantly, the assessment method mentioned above might be applied in the process. The manager are given an opportunity to assess themselves, let's say by the peers of the individual who told the leadership position with organization in question. Perform review. Normally conducted with team, department, organization, conduct a present meeting. This means that I see the analysis from their period which the past, present, and futures. Right. So what's been in the past? Participants look into the past with the aim to determining the implication of behavior employee on the organization's overall performance and then accomplishment that have been made at the personal, team, and departmental level. Present, after review the past, the step to determine how the performance achieved in the past will be dealt with the present through the application reward and other form compensation to show operations to the effective manager. Features, formulation new strategy that we apply within a specific period in the future. I see organizations on new levels performance, it can be involved to setting a new goals of the application of new development framework, okay, and detected by the organization present contact, all right, okay. All right, managers need to realize that there are various type of bias that may impede to effectiveness to review process since acknowledging they can exist in avoiding them. Such are commonly referred to rather biases associated with the environmental factor associated with the individual carry out the review. Such may be include hollow type of bias that may input to the effective for review. Occur with a particular employee assigned an unfair high rating due to the fact the rater hold a positive attitude and perception of them. Same as me, a form of bias to causes on the got a better rating assessment to individual that perceived to be similar to them with respect to issue with genders, race, ethnicity, amount of similar factors. Center tendency, a form bias that emerging when a particular rater chosen to assign the individual being assessed point mark they are close to be my point of rater standard only. Forms occur with particular employee assigned unfairly low rating due to the fact that the rater hold a negative attitude on the perception of them. If necessity bias occur with the rater does not maintain consistency in the rating process, then some of the people be rate and after expressing a more strict and lane rating may also occur with difference. Manager adopt difference level for strictness in the rating process. So class D is the what we call it supplier effective for review process. All right. Okay, and then lastly, the completion of performance review process is followed by the formation of new agreement between the affected employee and their manager of or employer. Such, okay, may tie to the formation a new agreement between the two parties or the renewal or revision of their existing one. Notably, the process is similar to the planning, perhaps since it marks the beginning of that cycle in the performance management process. Significantly, the formulation of agreement between the two parties relies on the information acquired from the previous cycle and are ensuring that the degree of performance expected with next cycle is better than realized during the preceding one. All right. Okay, so this is about the chapter 1 and chapter 2. Chapter 1 is involved the introductions to the performance management. Chapter 2 is more or less planning of performance management. All right, so I think we start off our chapter 2. We say, okay, we finish our chapter 2 already. Maybe more or less you can go through lah for the any reference, article, journal, based your experience. All right. So